There were some poignant moments at St. Joseph Cemetery, the kind that could never be scripted, etched in our minds forever. Let's go back to the cemetery as Brian Mastery reports some of his observations.
Mallory, it was easy to see the hurt, the grieving going on in here, but there were just so many people that turned out here at St. Joseph. And I think that the police chief summed it up best at the funeral, that he said, "I cannot think of a better representative for our profession than Carrie." We often hear there is strength in numbers. The Carrie Orozco family must have felt the sheer power at St. Joseph Catholic Cemetery in Council Bluffs. One by one, hundreds of police vehicles from across the country followed the family to the gravesite to show support. Why did they come?
This is our answer right here. This is why we're in this. This is a brotherhood and a sisterhood. And we, like she said, we drove 6 hours to show her support. We didn't know Carrie, but we knew her as a professional.
From Amazing Grace on the bagpipes to a helicopter flyover, the magnitude of the funeral became clear. Omaha police officers stood still in the hard rain until the majority of the procession arrived. A retired New York police officer offered this perspective.
When God cries, this is it. He's crying for this young lady.
For 7 years, Detective Carrie Orozco protected us from danger. As the graveside service began, her fellow officers shielded her family from the spotlight, trying to make such a public death more private.
This month alone, 9 officers were murdered. So it's a tragedy.
A few years ago, Chicago police officer Rick Caballeros formed Brother for the Fallen, a commitment to attend funerals of officers killed in the line of duty. The turnout for Officer Orozco moved him.
I've been through probably about 20 funerals throughout the country. This, I have to say, is the biggest turnout I've seen as far as the community coming together.
Eventually, the rain subsided, and Carrie Orozco's family and her law enforcement family said goodbye, leaving the cemetery with the reminder to carry on. So the end of watch is Wednesday, March 20th for Detective Carrie Orozco. Badge number 1969, retired. And you heard it here. It was played out to the group at the cemetery. Her last call this afternoon at 2:39. Even in a death, John and Mallory, Officer Orozco had a way of bringing the community together. Back to you.
It's wonderfully together. And Omaha Mayor Jean Stothert offered her thoughts in a statement.
It reads in part, "In our grief, Omaha stood together as one community today. As the procession moved through downtown Omaha, I saw thousands of people but heard nothing. This silent tribute reminds me that Omaha is strong and a compassionate community."